Okay, so every time, since I was little, I would always go to my favorite place. And it's always like the happiest place on earth, which is Disneyland. So today I'll be talking about Disneyland and my favorite rides to go on and places to eat at Disneyland. I'm an annual pass holder, and I try to go every week when I don't have homework or when I don't have to present the next day. So today I'll be informing you more about Disney. So first, when I go to Disneyland, I love to go on Pirates of the Caribbean, sorry. It's my favorite ride. It's only like 5 to 10 minutes and it goes by really quick. And I feel it's one of the rides at Disneyland that's really long and just, it's so cool to look at and just like, how did they make this? So another, a fun fact about Disneyland is that was the first ride of Pirates by the Caribbean that Walt Disney got to envision and was there for the grand opening. It was in 1967, and during that time, the designers, they wanted skulls, obviously. There's a bunch of skulls in Pirates of the Caribbean, sorry. And so the designers got UCLA to let them borrow real human skull heads. After the designers tried to remove most of them and made their own, they left a couple real human skull heads. Let me just show you. So there's one still in the ride, and it's above the headboard of Pirates of the Caribbean. And this one's the real one. So that's the only one that's left inside the ride that's still real. And another ride that I love to go on is Matterhorn. Matterhorn is my favorite ride also because it's just so scary and it's just so thrilling. It's just like a big roller coaster. And another fun fact about Disney is that they have a half basketball court inside the top. So as you can see right here, the Matterhorn team members could go play basketball on their break and stuff. And here's a picture of back in the day. I haven't asked anyone if it's true. I saw this on hiddenmickey.com, so hopefully it's true. And then after that, I get really hungry, so I go to Pizza Friend. This is located in Tomorrowland. And I love going there because people think that Disneyland is always expensive to go eat, but I think it's not really expensive. I always get this. It's the chicken fusilli. It's $10, but it's really big portion, so you can share with someone. And I always get the Caesar salad. The pizza's good, but it's not too good, so I don't recommend that. Yes, that's located in Tomorrowland. And if you're going really cheap, Tomorrowland also has edible plants. So they have kale, lettuce, cabbage, and mint. And I found this on hiddenmickey.org. So I didn't really notice until I went a couple days ago, and it's real, I guess. And I was just like, I haven't seen anyone eat it, so don't get in trouble. And then lastly, before I end the day, I love to go get a churro. It's $4. But then I walk down Main Street and there's like smells, and the smells is like baked goods. And I also saw on Hidden Mickey that Disneyland uses smellizers, which emphasize that smell of like baked goods, so it makes you buy it. So once you walk down Main Street, you smell the baked goods. If you go to Pirates of the Caribbean, you smell sea musk, so that's why it's always smelling like. So to conclude, I showed you my favorite places to go at Disneyland, and I'll leave you off with the quote from Walt Disney, "Never grow up." So just try to venture, find new things, and hopefully this helped you out.
All right, Aileen, I think the opening needs to be a little bit more intriguing, exciting, interesting. You got to do something to kind of grab us. And this is a topic that's, otherwise it's just, I'm going to tell you about my trip to Disneyland, and, that's a conversation that I would have, not necessarily a speech. So you got to do something to make it special, and I think that you need something in the introduction to do that. The thesis is pretty generic. The subject matter, look, you're going to talk about an interesting topic, but the perspective that you're taking on it is so personal that it's not really going to feel much like a speech sometimes. It's just going to feel, like I said, a conversation occasionally. I did think that you did try to cite a couple of sources in the speech to make it feel a little bit more like there's some research and development that's going on here. I think you need a stronger summary at the end of the speech when you finish it off. That would also help, I think, give it more sense of being, something that's focused and structured, as opposed to, well, let me mention the things that I like about Disneyland. I like this ride, I like the food, and there's some interesting stuff that I know that it's also interesting. The delivery issues, you have a tendency to kind of stand sideways when you've got the visuals up there, sort of like I was talking to Adrian about in the second part of his speech. I did see some good indicators while you were speaking, and some nice descriptive gestures though while you were talking also, so you looked engaged with the subject that way, and your facial expressions, look, you're having a good time, you're talking about a subject that you like, and that came across very effectively. Your eye contact's a little bit problematic because, once again, you kind of look back toward the screen quite a bit, and then there are a few times when you're sort of looking off in different directions while you are thinking of the next thing that you're going to talk about. The visuals are fine. I appreciated that you weren't dependent on notes. Your voice, it's easy to hear you and listen to. It all flows pretty smoothly. I didn't see anything that was really problematic, except that, like I said, it does feel a little bit like it's, I don't want to say thrown together, but it's very loosely structured. It's very casual in the approach, and some of the vocal delivery things also emphasize that too, as well as the content itself. So it just needs, I think, to be formalized a little bit more and make it feel more like a speech. All right, and I'll give you a nickel if you can tell me the name of the guy playing basketball in the picture. I give anybody in here a nickel if they can tell me that. No.
Sure don't. Richie Cunningham.
No? It's Brian Phelps.
Who's that?
He was the co-host of a morning show in LA on the radio, Mark and Brian. You ever hear of Mark and Brian? Yeah, that was him in the picture, because I've seen that picture on their site.